Welcome to episode 2 of StockX TV. I'm your host, Josh Luber. Thank you to everyone that watched episode 1. We received phenomenal feedback and some very specific suggestions. In fact, a lot of people thought that I used my hands maybe a bit too much. And so, we heard you. We're going to take that under advisement, and today, we're not going to use my hands nearly as much. Every episode of StockX TV is different, but every episode starts with Market Watch. In every episode of Market Watch, we always take a look at the biggest shoes that released most recently and what they're selling for. Last time we took a look at 3 Nikes. This time, 1 Adidas and 1 Asics. Let's start with the Yeezy. This past weekend, the Adidas Yeezy V2 350 Cream White finally hit. And some pairs pre-release were selling for as much as $1,000. But it seemed like there were a lot more available. So by the end of release weekend this time, the Cream White was selling for about $525. When you compare this to the other 8 V2s that have come out, it's nowhere near the most expensive. The Zebra at about $1,300 is definitely the most expensive. But when you take a look at this at the bottom end of the scale, it's actually maybe the least expensive. The only other one that's in the same ballpark is the Core Black White. Right now, that one's selling for a little bit more, but during its release weekend, the Core Black White was selling for about $450. So when you look at the data over the same time period, the Yeezy is either the cheapest or the second cheapest for the Cream White. Either way, we know that Yeezys hold their value over time, and it's probably a good bet this one will go up to. Now let's go to our second shoe of Market Watch, the first ASIC to show up anywhere on StockX TV. Back in 2013, Ronnie Fieg released the Gel-Lyte 5 Volcano, which very quickly became not only a cult favorite, but one of the most expensive ASICs we've seen anywhere. So when we saw there was a Gel-Lyte 3 version of Volcano coming out, everyone got pretty excited. Before it released though, the Gel-Lyte 3 was selling for almost the exact same price as the 2013 Gel-Lyte 5. They were both selling for about $600. But 2 weeks ago, when the Gel-Lyte 3 came out, it very quickly went down to its true market value, about $375. At the same time, the Gel-Lyte 5 shot up in value and is now selling for about $800. This is a very common occurrence we see in the market where 2 shoes come out of the same design, where they start at the same place, but then they very quickly move back to their true market value. Okay, that's enough Market Watch for today. Let's go to the next segment. Welcome to State of LeBron. Periodically, we take a look at how the sneaker brands leverage the resale market for their own benefit. Nike, Adidas, Jordan. Why do they make limited shoes? And why do they care that it sells for so much on the secondary market? With the LeBron line, Nike used to have a limited strategy, but they moved away from it for a while. The best example of this is the LeBron 9. Released in 2011, 2012, there were about 35 LeBron 9s released, and about a third of them were very limited, very rare, and sold for a lot of money. As a result, the other 2/3 also sold out, or sold for a small premium on the secondary market, even if it was just $20, $30, and the whole model was something that sneakerheads followed. But fast forward to the LeBron 13, there were 43 releases, and not a single one, not one, was truly limited or sold for a lot on the secondary market. So Nike has really moved away from that limited strategy for years. But they may have turned the corner and come back this year. Earlier, Nike released the Air Zoom Generation, LeBron's first retro, and released the LeBron 14. Both of these were very limited, much more than we've seen in a long time. There were only 500 pairs of the Air Zoom Generation released, and it's now selling for about $800. There were 600 pairs of the out-of-nowhere LeBron 14, and that's selling for about $450. These are big resale prices for LeBrons. The last time we had a pair that sold for $800 was the LeBron 8 South Beach, and that was a while ago. The really interesting thing about Nike's return to resale with LeBrons is that these 2 shoes were released onto the secondary market first before a retail channel. These 2 shoes were released on StockX in a sneaker box made out of wood from the Cavaliers championship court, and including an actual Cavs championship ring in a package that we called the Cavs Court SPO. So today, for our feature, we're going to go behind the scenes into the making of this package.
LeBron announced his first retro line shoe with Nike, his first pair, which came out in 2003. What's different is how it's going to be sold.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. And Irving puts it up. It's good. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.
Today is my fun job. I'm working at the Q, changing the floor out. And from what I understand, they're cutting it up into pieces for souvenirs.
Being won the championship, it's a whole new era, they're winning, so it's nice to have a new floor.
I have been doing the changeovers for 63 years now. When you have a winning team, people go nuts.
Here you start to realize that you're getting close to a championship and that you're actually a little bit part of it.
Got a voicemail about 6 weeks ago, said, come on down, we need you to get sized for your championship ring.
Dan Gilbert is getting a ring for everyone in the building, which is very nice. It only took 60 years, what the heck?
So when we first heard about this Nike Shoebox project, we were pretty excited. Not only do you have a team that hasn't won a championship in a long time, you have a city that hasn't won a championship in 52 years. For me and for my team, the experience has been pretty amazing. And really kind of figuring out new ways to elevate the status of not memorabilia, but memories.
The main thing championship rings exemplify is memories. When you win a championship, it's exciting. It's still pretty fresh when you get your ring, but 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, those memories come flooding back to them every time they put their ring on. It was probably one of the largest championship rings ever made. All the way from the players to the fans to people getting this specialized box and shoe with the ring was just the icing on cake and taking it to that next level.
Only 23 of his retro kicks and 23 of his new kicks are up for auction on StockX. Actual piece of the Cavaliers floor is Chris Smalling. Okay, this goes back to LeBron's originals. Now, the bidding had started, as I mentioned, Friday. They're up to $8,000, the highest bid. The lowest bid to win is at $3,500 right now.
You got to be in the top 23.
Yes, to get it, because only 23 of these have been made.
All right, that wraps up episode 2 of StockX TV. Hope you enjoyed behind the scenes of the Cavs Court SPO. There were 46 packages sold, and they went for an average of $6,000 each. We raised almost $100,000 for charity, but fortunately, we held on to one package, which we're gonna give away. So stay tuned for information on how you can win it. On the next episode, we're gonna start our 7-part docuseries Into the Fun Police. Where did they get those yellow jackets? And why were they so opposed to fun?
38 shots, 2 passes, 2. Man, you ain't even letting the ground touch the ball.